Welcome troops, it's me TheTacticalBrit, and we know now that Battlefield 5 is going to feature a Royale game mode. It's a pretty common trend in gaming these days, and realistically it's no surprise that Battlefield is following suit with a lot of other first-person franchises, as well as just the gaming trend in general, and heading towards a Royale setting. Now they briefly mentioned this at EA Play during their conference, and effectively said that Royale would be coming to the game at some point within its life cycle, but didn't actually expand much upon what Battlefield 5 Royale would look like. And in this video today I actually want to dive into what this could look like, and more importantly what tips in the game we've already seen that point towards how Battlefield 5 Royale is going to look. So what do we know already? Well, DICE have more or less said nothing beyond corporate speak. They say that Battlefield 5 Royale is going to be a team-based experience, it's going to be Battlefield-centric, and effectively they said it's just going to look and feel like a Battlefield game. It's going to be part of Battlefield 5, it's going to probably feature the same weapons that are in the game, and potentially even the same vehicles. But how exactly would this look? Now, as with any Battlefield Royale or Royale game in general, there will probably be a combination of solo, duo, and team-based matchmaking. Team-based matchmaking appears to be something that they are particularly interested in, considering the size and scale of Battlefield, and what they're hoping to accomplish in terms of squad gameplay. And it'd be really interesting to see if mechanics such as reviving squad mates does indeed carry on over to the Royale game mode. Now, as it comes to the whole design of things, we can imagine that this is going to feature a new map, or potentially a stitched together version of previous maps, much like what Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is doing. Battlefield maps are relatively massive, but you'd like to think that a Royale map for a game the size of Battlefield, which does indeed feature vehicles, would be somewhat even bigger. Now, in terms of the gameplay style of things, it's probably more or less going to be exactly the core gunplay experience you'd expect in Battlefield, although it would probably feature scavenger mode-like elements of picking up weapons, and potentially even an inventory system for things such as armor and other things that could potentially be in the game. If it's like any other Royale game, there probably will be an expectation that there are some kind of armor pickups, melee pickups, and weapon pickups that are available in the game, all of which, realistically speaking, should have some kind of inventory management system to work with, as well as potentially things such as backpack, clothing, etc, etc. Think PUBG, but in the Frostbite engine. But in terms of how this game mode will actually function and what it will look like, there actually has been a good indication to what I believe Battlefield 5 Royale is going to be. Now, it was mentioned during the recent reveal for Battlefield, which I have attended, and even more so at EA Play, Grand Operations Last Day. It's a really cool system in Grand Operations, whereby different days affect outcomes of other days, and for example in day 1, if you take out a certain level of missile batteries or artillery batteries, you have more lives on day 2. But if you get to day 4, which is the stalemate day where both teams are still drawing, there is a sort of attrition game mode where everybody spawns in with very limited ammunition, minimal weaponry, and the last man standing wins the game. Now, that rings a lot of bells to sort of Battle Royale expectations, and Battlefield 5 has actually featured a very heavy emphasis on this idea of attrition. Limited ammunition, limited health, having to work with his squad mates, and it looks like, considering what they've said about their Royale game mode being Battlefield-like and being sort of the core components of what you'd expect from Battlefield, squad play and team play is definitely part of that, and it wouldn't surprise me to see the last day of Battlefield's Grand Operations mode represent a lot of what we're going to see in the Battlefield Royale mode. Think of the combination of airborne drops in the first day mixed with the lack of weaponry and attrition survival element of the last day. And it'd be really interesting as well to see how they're going to integrate other important aspects of Battlefield. I honestly do believe it wouldn't make sense not to have vehicles in a Battlefield 5 Royale game mode. Now, most people would be like, whoa, that's ridiculous, what are you talking about? You know, maybe a car of some kind is fine, but anything like tanks, that's ridiculous. But it would be really cool to see if like a military-grade elite drop in this Royale game mode, one that everybody fights over, is something like a light armored vehicle. I think that would be pretty sick, in my opinion, and it's something I think definitely Battlefield can bring to the table in terms of Royale games is actual assault weaponry vehicles. Assault vehicles could be a huge addition to the Royale genre. Even more importantly, I feel as though if we're going to go for this last day of Grand Operations attrition element, then there's definitely a way to make Battlefield 5's Royale game mode much more interesting than most Royale games out there at the moment. Most Royale games at the moment really do depend around the loot you find in the game and what you do with it. But it'd be really cool if Battlefield 5's spin on Battle Royale was actually to be more about the attrition element and just simply being a more skillful player. Now, if there was minimal weaponry with minimal ammunition, and it was very hard to find guns or hard to find ammunition in Battlefield 5's Royale game mode, the focus would shift away from the loot you collect and more to how you play as either a solo player, a duo, or potentially even a squad unit. It'd be much better than, you know, just the simple, oh crap, he's got this legendary golden something something and they've got this bronze something something pistol. It's very clear who's going to win here. It would be much more interesting, in my opinion, if Battlefield 5's Royale game mode was something more along the lines of weapons being relatively similar or very lacking in ammunition, and more being about the skill and precision of gameplay, approaching situations knowing that you have limited ammo and approaching situations knowing that, you know, there isn't necessarily a big difference in the weapons that either of you have, but rather that, you know, you have to use these weapons effectively and be intelligent with them. I think that would be really cool. I think it's something that the Battlefield sort of genre for number 5 is something that they're aiming towards, and I think it's something that the Royale genre could actually benefit a lot from, because there seems to be this huge fixation on loot at the moment in Royale game modes, which I'm really not a huge fan of. I'd much prefer sort of tactical based gameplay, and potentially Battlefield could bring that to the table. So guys, that's about it for my video today. Make sure you leave a like and a subscription if you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are on Battlefield 5's Royale game mode in the comment section below. I for one think it's excellent that we're getting both a game mode that features single player, multiplayer, and a Royale experience for the cost of a base game. I think that's really cool, and I hope the developers do something interesting with it, and it could potentially be DICE's first step into the Royale genre. So guys, that's about it for me today. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon in another video.